My life looked almost perfect on paper if you look on my Instagram, but it almost cost me the thing that I wanted the most. My name is Leah and welcome to my YouTube channel, where we decode the old myths of success that don't work for us as women and are building a new way to succeed through soft power. Today I want to tell you a story how my life choices, my lifestyle, and my relationship with success almost cost me the most valuable thing I always dreamt of. At this point, I've spent almost 20 years working in tech. I've built startups. I was the very first tech startup evangelist of Ukraine. I moved to Silicon Valley as a startup CEO. I was very privileged and very lucky to be able to talk to the brightest minds of Silicon Valley. I was pretty much living my dream, except one little caveat. Since being a little girl, I always knew I wanted to have a family. And I know it's not for everybody. I don't think every woman should have kids. I don't think every woman should get married. But for those who have that desire, and if you're listening to this video, I want you to hear right now that if that desire is in place, your family is waiting out there for you to be ready to build it. So while I was building my success instead of building a family, I've been battling a diagnosis of endometriosis and a diagnosis of several doctors pretty much telling me that most probably I will never have kids due to the severity of my endo, 2 surgeries, and continuous cysts. My monthly cycle was a mess, and to be honest, looking back, I didn't even really care. For a very long time, I felt like I'm doing everything right. I'm living by the book. I'm building a company, I'm raising capital, I'm hiring people, I'm achieving things. I've been mentioned in TechCrunch. I became a mentor in 500 Startups Accelerator, which is a huge accomplishment that I was dreaming about. So everything seemed okay, except the fact that I moved to San Francisco with my first husband, and a year later, our relationship fell apart. And the fact that I deeply wanted to have a family and kids, but I kept hearing that I won't be able to. In that moment, I thought, okay, Leah, the problem is that you're too masculine. Your job right now is to become a true woman. Find what does it mean to be a woman. I started asking this question very early in my life because I felt like the models of womanhood that I saw just are not inspiring. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be rich. I want to achieve things in life. And the idea of femininity, the idea of womanhood that I saw growing up in Ukraine was women are weak. I didn't realize that my mother first raised my sister by herself and pretty much been a matriarch or a pharaoh family. So I decided I'm gonna be acting as a man. I'm going to be achieving as a man because the alternative was not inspiring at all. So here I am in the heart of San Francisco, living my dream, realizing that I'm burned out, I'm divorced. So I moved to LA and I started searching for what is feminine energy. I bought this idea that feminine energy is your surrender. It's almost submission to either the universe, so you're just receiving and waiting for something to manifest, or you're submitting your power to your husband. I was lucky enough to meet my second husband, so I had the partner in this exercise of femininity. And I remember the moment when he suggested that I should just try being a housewife. That felt terrifying to me because in my mind, a housewife meant a woman with no value, a woman with no ambition, a woman with almost no worth. So when I decided to try this model, I felt almost like an addict that is on withdrawal because all my external validation for my achievements was not there anymore. And I have to tell you, that has been a very healing process to really see how much of my worth was tied in my external accomplishments and the things that I put on my LinkedIn. But of course, I had to go all the way into another extreme. Through this process of discovering the feminine femininity, I abandoned parts of myself that were very productive. Parts that would stand up and take care of me. The parts that would express opinion entering the room. And then the greatest thing in my life happened. And I became a mom. My little boy right now is 2 years old, and he's the greatest joy of my life. He made me who I am right now. When I became a mom, I've experienced the level of love that I didn't know was possible. I felt like I am intrinsically valuable because I am a channel that brought life into this world. How could I ever think that a job, a business, any of that can come even close to being a mom? And if you're listening to this and you're a mom, please know that you are incredible. If you're listening to this and you're not a mom, please know that all your accomplishments are valuable and important, and you are important. Sometimes our projects are almost our spiritual children. So don't think that if you don't have physical kids, especially if you don't want to, that somehow you're less of a woman. But for me, I remember experiencing the depths of my power. And then I realized, and there was a new feeling that awakened in me, that I'm going to do anything for my child. I'm going to find any specialist, I'm going to find help, I'm going to find money, I'm going to find resources. I'm go to another planet if I have to for my child. And becoming a mom awakened such a fierceness in me, such a strength and power, that I realized that I am done with any form of BS in my life. But it was coming from a place of love. It was not coming from a place of proving or fighting back or anger or hatred. And that's when I started and discovered soft power. Because I finally connected the dots of that driving force, of that balance of being both as a woman, being powerful and coming from love and softness. So if we as women would go to such a length to take care of our kids, how come we're not doing that same thing for ourselves? I work with women that come to me and tell me, I'm a founder of my own company, but I feel like I can't stop. I don't have time to rest. I can't allow myself to rest. So I want to ask you this. If you were treating yourself with the same love and the same fierceness as you would treat your child, what would you stop doing today? And please take this as the practice and the exercise. It is extremely powerful. It is extremely effective. And start cleansing your life from all the things that haven't been serving you for a while.